NFL overtime. One of the few periods in professional sports that can lead to an actual tie. In the NFL regular season, if the two teams at the end of overtime have the same exact score, it ends in a tie. I think most NFL fans absolutely despise overtime in the league, or hopeful one day the NFL will decide to change it because everybody hates a tie. But the only times an NFL game cannot end in a tie, that's in the playoffs, and specifically for today's video, the Super Bowl. But the question is, if the Super Bowl actually went into overtime, would the game ever end if each overtime period actually remained at a tie? Would the Super Bowl go into 10, 15, 20, 30, an infinite amount of overtimes? Today, we are here to find out on the channel because that's what we do. This channel is like an FBI investigation and scientific research combined into one. As here on Madden 20, we are going to get the answer to that question as we're going to jump into a Super Bowl game. And I don't care how long it takes, we are going to get the answer. Specifically into Madden 20, what would happen? Would the Super Bowl go into infinite overtimes or would it ever end? Like, you got to think about that question logically. Like, if in real life, the Super Bowl got to like 15, 20 overtimes and it got into like the next day, like the NFL wouldn't, like, I wonder what the actual answer is. I wonder if the NFL actually has a hypothetical answer if that was to ever happen, because you can't have an NFL game go on for 24 hours. People would legitimately start to die on the field. Like, when it comes to a coin toss, I have no idea, but today we're gonna find out that answer in Madden 20. So hopefully guys do enjoy today's video, and if you do, make sure to smash that like button, subscribe if you are new, and turn on the notification bell if you haven't. Let's see if we can smash 2,000 likes on today's experiment. If you guys have any other experiment ideas for the channel, let me know in the comment section below for a chance for your idea to actually be turned into a video. Also guys, if you missed my last few videos, if we can hit 400,000 subscribers by Christmas, we are going to top my last year's Christmas giveaway. Last year we gave away 2 Xbox One X's and 2 PS4 Pros, and if we get 400k by Christmas, that will turn into 3 Xbox One X's and 3 PS4 Pros. So make sure to subscribe to the channel if you are new. Now I have to say big shout out to my boy Mookie here, because he agreed to jump into a game with me so we can just knead the ball in overtime and just see how long this takes. I'm gonna feel like a Mr. Beast thumbnail today. It might be exactly like a Mr. Beast thumbnail if Mr. Beast met Madden. As I don't care if it takes an hour, 2 hours, 3 hours, a whole entire day. Today, we are going to get an answer to this question. We are in franchise mode. It's going to be 49ers versus the New England Patriots in the Super Bowl. And this game is not going to end until we actually get somewhat of an answer. It's on 1 minute quarter, so it's not going to take us as long as it normally would, but still I have a feeling to get an answer somewhat to this question. This is going to take a long freaking time, so I better get comfortable. Super Bowl, Niners, and question for today's video, I actually have 2. Number 1, who's your Super Bowl prediction at this point in the NFL season? What are the 2 teams you think end up making it to the Super Bowl, and who do you think wins it? And question number 2, what do you think actually would happen in real life? What would it come down to if the Super Bowl looked like it was going to go into, in real life, into infinite overtime? So that is like, it would have come down to a coin toss. Imagine the freaking Super Bowl, the pinnacle professional football, coming down to a coin toss. Because I think all NFL organizations would rather it come down to a coin toss than actual death. And does anybody else think it's absolutely hilarious that the Super Bowl is being played in Miami Dolphins Stadium, when it's the home of a team that's probably actually going to go 0-16 this year? Now this is the most boring part of the video, as we have to knee the ball probably about 15 times until we get into overtime. And guys, I'm actually excited to see what the answer is going to be. I'm actually curious to see if the scoreboard will continue to count to infinite overtime. I feel like eventually it's coded to where it's just gonna have to eventually stop. But the beautiful thing about Madden settings, after 2 times kneeing the football, it's already the end of the quarter. We'll probably actually be able to, in halftime, with him actually even being able to get a possession. Oh man, the 49ers actually gonna get a possession here. If he like he's trolling me and he actually scores on accident, I'm gonna be pissed. I'm gonna be pissed. Mookie, I'm not paying you for nothing. As once again, shout out to my boy Mookie for doing this, dude, because I couldn't be paid enough to literally go into a Madden game by myself if I was getting nothing out of it to freaking just sit there and knee the ball for about 2 straight hours. As that does it, end of 1 half has literally been like 3 minutes real time for me. But the true question gets into, obviously, when we get into freaking overtime. I'm going to say my prediction, I think Madden is going to stop counting it after like 10 overtime. That's my prediction. And after that, I don't know what exactly would get out of the video, but it's just all about experimenting and seeing what the heck happens. It might not be anything special that happens in the video, but that's the video's purpose. Just see what happens, and even if it's nothing special, we still get to see. What this does do is keep you guys from having to waste your time and do the same exact experiment yourself if you were curious. It's all about answering your guys' curiosity. That is gonna be the end of quarter number 3. Literally 1 quarter away from getting the answer. I actually thought he was about to piss me off and just annoy me and bring that one for a touchdown. As that should do it, my dudes. That should bring us into overtime in Super Bowl 54. And the important part of the video finally begins. What the heck is gonna happen if overtime never ended in the NFL Super Bowl? Just like that, my dudes. Overtime period number 1 is over. As I wonder, is it gonna let me get the ball here, or do the 49ers get to continue their drive? That is the question. I'm actually curious. I don't know this statistic myself. Let me know in the comment section below how many NFL playoff games have actually gone into 2 overtime. As wow, it doesn't actually even say the game is into 2 overtime. That's so disappointing. It literally says it's not in 2 overtime. It just says regular overtime. We're gonna keep doing it though. Maybe we need to play an exhibition game. This is disappointing, EA. So the end of overtime number 2, and already extremely disappointed because EA doesn't even have apparently the resources to on the scoreboard even let us know how many overtimes we're actually in. Maybe it's different in franchise mode than it is like a play now. So if nothing doesn't happen within like the first like 5 to 10 overtime periods, we might just jump into like a head-to-head online rank match. Maybe it's different there because in franchise mode, the Super Bowl, that's extremely freaking disappointing. The fact that it can't even let us know how many overtime periods we're in. Like that's so lazy. So freaking lazy from EA Sports. So this is gonna be the end of overtime period number 3, and apparently still nothing crazy's happened. Like, once again, guys, extremely disappointed in this franchise mode because I thought it would be, like, logical, you know, for EA Sports simply to put a number before the letters OT and let you know how many overtimes you're in. So once again, if we get, like, 10 overtimes, nothing crazy's happened. We're going to see if it's the same exact thing in an exhibition game against each other. So this is going to be the end of overtime number 4 and still once again into Madden 20. Very disappointing. Very freaking disappointing. Like, even when it says score by quarter, it doesn't show you the overtimes you've been in. It just says quarter 1 through 4. Literally, it's like EA just doesn't care. And like anything outside of normality, they're just like, screw it. They don't pay for that. So as mentioned in the intro of the video, sometimes the question itself is the video, and just because the answer we get from the video isn't necessarily interesting, it still was a decent idea. But hopefully, after a few more overtimes, we will jump into an online unranked game against each other, and hopefully we'll get something more interesting there, because as of right now, EA Sports, like I said, just shows like they don't even freaking care about anything. And once again, at the end of overtime number 5, it looks like EA Sports just doesn't care. Nothing's changed. It still says it's just the first overtime. Like, there's enough space in between the arrow and OT to let you at least know how many overtimes in the game. So with that was very, very, very underwhelming. Now time to simply jump into a ranked match against my friend and see if the overtime's at least a little bit different. Now, interested to see what the box score says for this game. And look at that. It literally just says OT. Doesn't say how many overtime periods it was. It just says OT. Unfortunately, when you create a game offline and against an opponent, you can't actually make the event type Super Bowl, but you guys get the point. Same exact ideology behind it. All right, this time have to support my fantastic, beautiful Tennessee Titans with the greatest offense in the history of the NFL. I know this is completely beside the point, but god dang, that performance yesterday, Marcus Mariota, the end of an era. I thought about making its own video talking about it yesterday, but I decided not to. I was a little bit too heated, as it was just disgusting, dude. Disgusting. 0 points. 0 freaking points against a 1-4 team. Honestly, at this point, I'm predicting the future. Panthers, oh, it's perfect. It's nature. Panthers, stick with Kyle Allen. Don't want to pay Cam Newton the money next year. Cam Newton becomes a free agent. Titans sign him to a 1-year deal. He leads the Titans to a Super Bowl. And Cody 50-yard field goal as time expires to win the Super Bowl. It's going to happen. Speaking it into existence. And speaking of the devil, dude, all this is happening at the same exact time. It's not a coincidence. Mr. Cody Parkey. But as mentioned, it's the same exact scenario as the previous game in the actual Super Bowl. And now in a competitive head-to-head matchup. Hopefully, something's a little bit different in terms of overtime. And hopefully, I just want to see it count the overtime. As we do enter overtime, I have to go take a poop break. Last time I did this in a video, I came back and sharded. So hopefully that doesn't happen again. Back from the dump. And as we see, apparently overtime's over with. And what do you know, dude? It legitimately just says OT. How many OT? I have no idea. But it's definitely not the first. My God, dude, literally how hard is it for EA just to simply put a number? I believe this is overtime period number 3 or 4. So we're to the next overtime period and it's just nothing's changed. Like, I'm actually so disappointed at how this has transpired today. So after this, I think we're once again going to try an Ultimate Team game, and after that, because apparently it seems like EA Sports really only cares about Ultimate Team, because that's how they make their money. So maybe overtime and Ultimate Team games is a little bit different. If not, dudes, I think that's it. Once again, I was going to kick this game-winning field goal, because this has been an absolute travesty. Last attempt, Ultimate Team. MUT level 2 required. I'm literally am MUT level 2. MUT level 2 required. I am MUT level 2. Why are they gonna make somebody who just started the Ultimate Team play a freaking solo challenge? Whoa! How did I just score that? Now I'm MUT level 3. Can I play a freaking friend, dude? MUT level 2 required, dude. I am literally MUT level 3. This is so stupid. Bro, what does this game want me to do? I have to be able to play you. I have to be MUT level 2. And I'm MUT level 3. It says you have to be MUT level 2 to play a friend. And I'm literally level 5. This is so stupid, dude. I'm literally level 5. And it says to play a friend, you have to be level 2. I am literally level 5. Oh, this freaking game, dude. So I can't play a friend in Ultimate Team when it says I have to be level 2. Yet I'm level 5. Objective complete. MUT level 6. Now, please let me freaking play a friend. I am literally gonna have a heart attack. Oh my, finally, dude. Jesus Christ. Apparently, when it says you have to be level 2 to play a friend, it means 6. It means freaking 6. Oh boys, your boy's heated. I don't know what you saw in transitioning from that to the Ultimate Team game, but it took me literally 30 minutes to get to a MUT level that would allow me to play against a friend. Number 1, nobody enters Ultimate Team for the first time saying, hey, I want to initially play solo challenges against the CPU. No, that's stupid. Number 2, it simply said that you need to be MUT level 2 to be able to play a friend, and it took me to level 6 before it let me play a friend, so that was stupid. So stupid. So not only does EA not have the resources to simply put a number before what overtime period you're playing in, their game doesn't have an algorithm system that simply applies the simple laws of mathematics to its game. So if the Ultimate Team overtime isn't any different than the franchise or head-to-head overtime rules, I'm gonna be pissed off because if that just happened, wasted 30 to 45 minutes of my life. Number 2, you can't get any lower than 4-minute quarters in head-to-head player friend. So this is gonna take literally, what is that? 4 times as long as it took to simply get into overtime. So EA, they're testing my buttons here, dudes. Finally, what seems like 40 minutes later, finally into overtime. Like, look at me. Look at my posture, look at my position. This right here personifies my current mood. So close. We are so freaking close. Been such a long time coming. I beg. I'm telling you, dudes, if we don't go into this second overtime, and it simply has a number 2 in front of the overtime to let us know what overtime period it is, I am going to move into the forest and become a tree. I'm upset. I am simply extremely upset. So at least at the end of the day, you guys know never to waste your time on something like this. And number 2, as we always say, I'll see you guys in hell. And so this video isn't a complete waste. The only thing I could find on the internet potentially about this, the same timing rules that apply at the end of the second and fourth quarters in regulation also apply at the end of those quarters in overtime. If there is no winner at the end of the fourth overtime period, there will be another coin toss and play will continue until a winner is determined. I'll see you guys in hell.